Equinoxe Television, welcome back from the weekend. It's time for the news. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Our major stories today: traders at the Douala Central Market took to the streets around the market premises early today in a protest demonstration. The business people are denouncing the increase of the amount they have to pay for procuring market space at Marché Central. The Douala 2 Council has reportedly increased the amount from 16,000 to 180,000 francs CFA. We'll tell you more in this edition of the news. Plus, insecurity seems to be a virus difficult to kill in Douala. Despite efforts by local authorities, security challenges are still high at the Cité de Palmier neighborhood in the Douala 5 area. Armed men severely inflicted wounds on people as they invaded snack bars at Cité de Palmier. That was last night. We'll tell you what happened in this newscast. And also, we will tell you more about the new cardinals elected at the Vatican in this news edition. Viewers, those are our major stories. Details when we come back. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you so much for the confidence. We told you in the headlines, several traders of the Douala Central Market today staged a protest demonstration at the market premises. The business people of Marché Central are denouncing exorbitant taxes which the Douala 2 Council is asking them to pay for market space. They are now asked to pay 180,000 francs CFA instead of the initial 36,000 francs. Let's now have more with Smart Jikan Gabriel.
Several business places at the Marché de la Gare in the Douala 2 subdivision remained shut down this Monday with a seal from the Douala 2 Council. The places were shut down as a result of money the council is requesting from the traders.
Many of the shades are being locked because of the reason that the mairie Douala 2 insisted that we should pay 180,000 for a tax that we do not know how it came all about. We used to pay that tax 36,000, but all of a sudden they came up with the issue of 180,000, which is say we cannot pay.
Now they are asking us to pay 188,000, which is above us.
The amount being asked by the council is not included in the tax being paid by these traders.
After paying all our impôt liberatoire that the government is asking from us, every taxes that the government asks us, we've already paid it. But surprisingly, they came again and asked us to pay 180,000, which is very enormous for us.
The traders complain that the 180,000 francs CFA being demanded from them is coming at a time when things are difficult on their own side.
The business is not moving. We are not even gaining anything here. We are just managing to keep our goods so that we can see how we do our family problem.
These traders are now looking up to the government for intervention.
We want government to intervene and tell us why we should pay that 180,000.
The traders are now expecting a change of mind from the Douala 2 Council authorities in the days ahead. Shock.
Today's other lead story: despite efforts put in place by the governor of the Littoral region, insecurity continues in some neighborhoods of Douala. Over the weekend, precisely at the Cité de Palmier neighborhood in the Douala 5 municipality, armed bandits invaded snack bars, inflicting severe injuries or wounds on the local population. Most of the victims, some in critical condition, are currently receiving medical attention at the Cité de Palmier District Hospital. Our reporter Cedric Chakusio was at Cité de Palmier earlier today.
And trauma, these are the feelings which characterize the inhabitants of Cité de Palmier in the Douala 5 subdivision after they were attacked by armed men commonly called microbe. An eyewitness says,
Subitement, les cris de partout, la course, les bouteilles qui se balancent, les verres.
I was walking when I heard people running, shouting microbe, microbe. When I tried to run, one of them entered my shop and asked me to give all what I had.
Entré, subitement, je me retrouve comme j'étais assise avec les gens, tout le monde s'est levé. Les tables sont tombées sur moi.
I told him I had nothing on me, so one insisted warning me with a machete in his hand, asking me what I had on me. I insisted telling him I don't have anything.
Donne pour moi, je n'ai rien. Il essaye de me tapoter, voit que je suis en collant, donc je n'avais pas de poche là où je pouvais.
They left my shop and entered into another one, asking the same question. I was really afraid. Everyone was running. For now, 4 of the victims are receiving treatments at the Cité de Palmiers District Hospital, while investigations were launched.
Now we talk something else. Senator Barrister Pauline Jouées has been elected as the new president of the Movement for the Defense of the Republican MDL political party. His election comes amidst rising tension as the premises where the meeting took place was encircled by the military, who wanted to stop the gathering. Immaculate Fogwe has the details.
Heavily armed men ready to thwart the holding of the 4th Extraordinary Convention of the Movement for the Defense of the Republic MDR Party. The convention, convened by the national president, Senator Barrister Pauline Jouées, had earlier been denied authorization by the divisional officer for Marwa. After taking the case to court, they were granted authorization. However, the authorization gotten from the court did not stop the military from trying to perturb the meeting. An action described as unacceptable. On the 1st of October, we were granted permission by the Marwa court to hold our convention. I don't know why the divisional officer is determined to thwart our activities. If we had to take the case to court, it's because we think the decision of the divisional officer not authorizing our meeting was biased and uncalled for. At the end of the 2-day convention, party members made some few adjustments of the party's text while electing new leaders. According to the party members, restructuring the party was an urgent need ahead of the upcoming presidential elections. They can't stop us from exercising our civic duties. No one can break the MDR party. You can see how party members mobilize themselves to be part of this convention. We are so determined to get a change we have been longing for. The first deputy senior divisional officer for the Diamare later arrived to the scene and tried to calm both parties so peace could reign. Party members say, despite the death of the founder of the party, His Royal Majesty Dakole Diasala, the MDR remains strong.
Still in politics, few months to the 2025 presidential election in Cameroon, the creation of coalition have gained momentum somehow. The coalitions have had as objective to unite various political parties to challenge the ruling CPDM party ahead of the elections. However, these groups have seen threats from the government via the Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization. Lucille Yengu Ese has more in the report which comes up next.
The political landscape in Cameroon has been characterized by various parties forming coalitions ahead of the 2025 presidential election. Few weeks ago, the Secretary General of the UPC faction, led by Pierre Baloguet, declared his support for Barrister Kere Muna, who was nominated by the party universe of Prosper Nkumvondo. This coalition was part of ongoing efforts to consolidate opposition forces in the face of political challenges, while the APC, coordinated by Jean-Michel Ninche, grouped associations and civil society organizations. It nominated Professor Maurice Kamto, president of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement political party, as their presidential candidate. On the other hand, the Political Alliance for Transition, ATP coalition, was formed in 2024 with leader Olivier Mbile. It has been promoting democratic change, electoral reforms, and advocating for human rights. Recently, in a statement, the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, said the Political Alliance of Change, led by Jean-Michel Ninche, and the Political Alliance for Transition in Cameroon, led by Olivier Mbile, are illegal. Reacting to this, some observers and the Human Rights Watch organization see this as government strategy to crack down opposition parties and public debates ahead of elections.
And now let's talk about the 21 cardinals which have been elected at the Vatican and appointed by Pope Francis and still out of the country. We'll be taking you to tell you about Captain Ibrahim Traore. In an interview on the local channel, he answered questions from the population on the attempted destabilization he announced. Let's now have more with Cedric Chakutu.
In Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore answered questions from listeners of public radio RTB on Saturday, October 5, 2024. He spoke in particular about the attempted destabilization that his regime recently denounced. According to him, all the plotters will have to face their consequences. Ibrahim Traore also wants the extradition of his predecessor, Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henri Sandiougo Damiba, currently in exile in Lomé. In Tunisia, Tunisians headed to the polls to cast their ballots in the country's presidential election, which analysts say President Kais Saied looks set to win. With most of his challengers in prison or barred from running, Saied is accused of suppressing political competition. Only 2 other candidates were given the go-ahead by the Electoral Commission to run against Saied, leaving some Tunisians feeling apathetic about the vote, but not for those who cast their ballots. In light with the Commission's decision, the opposition called for a boycott of the vote. Some in the country who hope that the election will bring about positive change do not agree with the abstaining from the vote. And in Vatican, Pope Francis has named 21 new cardinals, significantly increasing the size of the College of Cardinals and sending his mark on the group of prelates who will one day elect his successor. The new cardinals will receive their red hats at a ceremony known as a consistory on the 8th of December, a feast day that officially starts the Christian season in Rome.
In sports, 2 stadia in Cameroon were recently homologated by the Confederation of African Football (CAF) to host international matches. Amongst the 2 is the Quinoxe Omnisport Stadium in Bafoussam. Officials of the stadium say the daily work that was carried out by the team enabled the field to be up to standards. Let's now have a presentation of that stadium with Manjikan Gabriel.
On the turf of the Quinoxe Omnisport Stadium in Bafoussam are some employees who are actively working to continue to maintain the pitch. While some are rooting out the bad grass, others are reducing the grass level and another is marking the pitch. Since the AFCON hosted by Cameroon, those in charge of the Quinoxe Omnisport Stadium have been working hard to maintain the pitch. We have been working with Thaje Enterprise, which has been battling with us to maintain the field. We work day and night to keep the pitch in a good state, because if you abandon it for a long time, you will lose the quality. So we work a lot with a dedicated personnel to maintain the pitch. We are there every day and any situation is brought to us immediately, and it is with qualified technicians that we work with. Reasons why the pitch is what you see. Thanks to the work done on the Quinoxe field, it convinced the CAF inspection team that recently visited the country, and this led to the homologation of the pitch to host international matches. When you work and you're encouraged, it makes you happy and gives you the courage to do more. Notwithstanding its homologation, observations were made to the stadium directors about the lighting system for night games. All of the recommendations left by the CAF officials have been transferred to my hierarchy for us to get quick results, so that when a match is programmed, we don't suffer. The stadium directors were also told to organize matches, and this will enable them to test their appliances. It is now obligatory for matches to play every moment, so that we get to try our equipment in such a way that we are sure that everything is okay. It's almost 3 years now that the Quinoxe Omnisport Stadium hasn't hosted any big game, and after the homologation of the stadium, the population of Bafoussam are now impatiently waiting to see the Lions come to the West region for one of their matches.
Thanks much for that report. That takes us to the second part of the news. Stay with us. Welcome back, viewers. Today we are talking on conflict resolution in the maritime sector, because we noticed that there are so many court cases which are still pending. And our guest tonight is Chief Bola Akintola, maritime aviation expert, and he is talking to us from Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting to be our guest on Talking Point tonight. Now, you were at the origin of efforts to enhance arbitration and other alternative dispute resolution in the maritime sector in Cameroon. You are a Nigerian, but you decided to fight for Cameroon. Tell us more about how and why you brought up that initiative.
First of all, to introduce myself, I'm Chief Bola Akintola, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the immediate past chairman of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators Nigerian branch. And indeed, it was under my watch that the quest to getting chapter status for Cameroon started. And as I said in my goodwill message, I'm hopeful that pretty soon, not only will Cameroon become a chapter of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, indeed it will become a branch, just like other African countries are. We are equally hand in hand with membership in Ghana. Ghana is already a chapter. I'm sure in the next few weeks, Cameroon will be able to obtain his chapter status.
Now, Chief Bola Akintola, how important is it for Cameroon to be a member of the arbitration organization? What are some of the benefits?
It is very important because, you see, if Cameroon becomes a chapter, all he's doing is coming into the Committee of Nations in the ADR sphere. Alternate dispute resolution mechanism is seen to be the preferred mode of dispute resolution, especially for commercial enterprises, for commercial business. So the impact it would have on Cameroon is definitely going to impact the maritime business, because businessmen don't have time to be locked down in courts, contesting their rights. And any business, you will have reasons to contest your rights. So what ADR does is it's a door that facilitates resolution of disputes in a faster manner and oftentimes is more cost efficient. So in terms of promotion of business, Cameroon has a lot to benefit from that. In terms of dispensation, quick dispensation of justice, Cameroon has a lot to gain on that. And even the judiciary of Cameroon will be too happy that a lot of matters that are brought to it is being assisted and resolved by the institute, the chapter of Cameroon, by the time it evolves. So on all fronts, Cameroon is going to be the winner, business-wise, maritime business-wise, dispute resolution-wise, and then the international status that he will confer on his members, because once you become a member of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, indeed you become an international citizen. Go anywhere in the world, introduce yourself as an associate member of the institute, or a fellow of the institute, or a chartered arbitrator of the institute, you will be accorded a lot of respect and a warm welcome will be given, and of course it will facilitate, as I said, good business.
And finally, Chief Akintola, what are the expected fallout of the meeting on arbitration and other alternative dispute resolution methods taking place here in Douala? The launch happens today in the economic capital. What are those expected fallouts of that meeting?
The meeting is an enlightening one, is an educating one, and you can see the quality of attendees. You see, Africa is ripe to take its place. A lot of times you find that the colonial masters, they've dominated this scene for too long. In terms of quality of thought, in terms of quality of personnel, in terms of ability to do good business, in terms of even the native intelligence that the average African has, there's no reason for us to depend on any colonial master or any colonialist, because there's really no colonial master anymore. Everybody is on the same floor. So what this meeting would help do is to give Cameroonians more confidence in themselves, more confidence to approach business in a business-like manner, not in a way that somebody thinks is more superior to you and you are inferior. In a lot of ways, again, as I said, Cameroonians are going to be the better for it.
Thank you so much, Chief Bola Akintola, for talking to us on Equinoxe Television tonight. Just to remind our viewers that you are a maritime arbitration expert. Thank you again, and hope to have you some other time, sir. Viewers, thank you so much for always being there. Don't go away. Our programs continue in about 40 minutes or so. Equinoxe live from Douala with Serge Alongotu and Julien Besbissa will be with you. That would be at 8 p.m. for the news in the French language. Stay with us on Equinoxe Television. Bye-bye for now.